G'day battlers, and today we're going to be doing some Marsh Cup battles up against SosaFlo of the Team Rocket Academy. Now if you haven't already checked out my Marsh Cup Meta Simplified infographic, you can click up there to watch that first before you watch this one, so you kind of have an idea of what all the matchups are going to be, just so you have a bit of a snapshot of the meta. And also we are against SosaFlo here, so if you haven't checked out Team Rocket Academy already, they've got a YouTube channel that's also pumping out a whole lot of Sylph content, so please go check that out after this video, because yeah, a whole lot more Sylph content coming out there as well, and we all know we need more of that in our lives. So in this video we're actually going to be using a whole lot of unique picks, so expect to see a whole lot of range and variety there. So yeah, Alolan Muck versus Alolan Muck. We both threw a Dark Pulse and neither of us shielded, so now we're going straight for the Sludge Wave. We've got CMP, so we're going to get it off first. And we do get a shield off of SosaFlo there. Charge Move coming straight back, and we're like, oh, it could be a Sludge Wave, but I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be a Dark Pulse, and we let it come through. But I didn't really think about the fact that he's then going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse before we can get to one, just because he had that extra energy already. So yeah, we're just going to let Alolan Muck go down here. And we're going to bring in Yahwertle, who is such a strong Pokemon in this cup, to just like get a whole lot of energy off. We throw this Lunge, and I didn't kind of realize how good of a move Lunge was, because I hadn't used it. I didn't power one up for GBL, so this is the first time we need it for a Sylph Cup, and boom, there goes the Alolan Muck. And now up against Yahwertle, we do have a pretty attack-weighted Yahwertle, so we're probably going to win CMP. Get this Lunge off first, and you're just going to see how much damage it does here. It's kind of insane. And boom, that is so much damage off, plus it does an attack debuff, so it's a pretty huge move, to be honest. I could have let that come through because we did have that debuff on, but we wanted to keep the Yahwertle for later. Switch into Gengar to try and just farm down, because Gengar does so much like just raw neutral damage. We throw this Shadow Punch at the Pelipper. Now it's going to do a nice little chunk there. We know that SosaFlo likes Pelipper from the Sunrise Cup. In one of my first battle videos there, it was on his analyst line that I used in a video, but get a shield off the Pelipper so that he can get this charge move off. Gonna let it come through because we kind of happy to let Gengar go at this point, because Yahwertle, that Pelipper is a water and flying typing, and those typings have one thing in common, and that is that electric is going to hurt. So yeah, shield up the Weather Ball just to make sure, take down the Pelipper, and we know that Yahwertle doesn't have any extra energy because we swapped so quick into Gengar, and then he instant swapped into that Pelipper. So yeah, we knew that we were going to get to a charge move first. That Lunge does take it out. We probably could have discharged down, but Volt Switch down, sorry, but yeah. So going into round 2, a bit of spice on SosaFlo's end with Alolan Marowak up against Scolipede, and switching into Celio. So Celio and Lapras are two Pokemon that are, like, they can do a bit of work in this cup. I'm not too sure on them yet. I didn't put them in the meta infographic. We'll kind of see if they do put in some work later in the month. I'm kind of thinking that you might want Water Pulse as opposed to the general Aurora Beam on it though, just because there's Alolan Marowak, for example, and also there's a whole lot of Steel types running around, so yeah, just kind of what I'm thinking. But Marowak Bone Club, boom, just kind of chunking a little bit of damage off, and I bring in Frostlass here. I'm not sure if that was like the best play as opposed to like leaving in Alolan Marowak. We're kind of like, oh, Alolan Marowak would be a little bit more useful to stay up against Scolipede, and we're actually running a triple Ghost line here, I think. We've got these two, and then we also have, actually, I'm not sure, I feel like we had triple Ghost, but we throw the Avalanche, and that is why this wasn't maybe a great play. Avalanche isn't going to do much damage, and we're just going to hit by more Body Slams, but that is not a Body Slam, that's an Aurora Beam, which still doesn't do heaps, but yeah. In comes the Alolan Marowak, and we are just able to get to the Shadow Ball before we go down. So and does get shielded, but that's all good. We've got the shield advantage now, and yeah, we've got Drifloon as our other pick. So now we kind of have to work around a Marowak with energy, which is a little bit scary, especially with this double Ghost line. But because we have two shields, we're just like, hey, we'll just burn these shields now, and it's a Bone Club bait. So, you know, unfortunate. And then another charge is going to come through now, and we're like, oh, if it's a Shadow Ball, I'm going to look silly. So we burn the shield, and it was a Bone Club bait. We just got double Bone Club baited. Not the best, but we throw the Shadow Ball now, just to, you know, maybe we can sneak it through. Doesn't get through, that's all good. There's no more shields on the field. Bring in our Alolan Marowak, just trying to soak this energy, and then hoping that maybe like Drifloon can come back in and clean up the Alolan Marowak. So switching out into Scolipede, and I think that might have actually threw the match for SosaFlo there, just because we are going to be able to tank whatever charge move here comes from Scolipede. It is just an X-Scissor as well, which isn't going to do much at all. So we're going to farm up extra energy so that we're closer to the next Shadow Ball. Throw the first Shadow Ball here, which should, I think it'll take out Scolipede, or if not, it'll be really close. It does take it out, and then we've already, like, we're past halfway to a Shadow Ball, 2 more Hexes, and we are able to get that off and take out the Alolan Marowak here. So yeah, SosaFlo definitely could have won that if he just stayed in, I'm pretty sure. I think, although I actually forgot in this battle that Celio was in the back. So we almost lost it there because I stopped tapping, but we do take it out with 1 HP and a dream there. But going to the next battle, we've got Pelipper up against Gengar. Gengar, again, is a pretty neutral pick, and I'm pretty sure it was my Gengar up against his Pelipper earlier on, so I've kind of flipped the tables here. But throw the Weather Ball, and that does so much. That is the big weakness to Gengar. It is not very tanky. It cannot take a lot of hits. So in comes Trash Wormadam, and Trash Wormadam is one that it can do some work. It's kind of just doing a lot of neutral damage. I don't think it's great up against much. Like, it's really good up against the poison types like Gengar, but for the most part, it kind of seems like it is just doing a whole lot of neutral damage. And don't get it up against Alolan Marowak, as you went over in the Meta Simplified video, because yeah, that is going to hurt. But let Pelipper go down there, not burning any shields, and then in comes the Fortress. So Fortress, we'll kind of just like, we'll soak up Wormadam's energy here, and then Bug Bite isn't going to do much. It is going to be resisted, but yeah, we're going to be soaking in all that energy. In comes the Skuntank, and we're kind of like, we weren't sure what to do. So we stayed in, and I was kind of like, oh, this could be a flamethrower. And now I'm like, oh yeah, Sableye has the ghost and dark typing. So it's actually okay to get hit by a crunch because it does have the dark typing, which I kind of always treat Sableye like a ghost, and I shouldn't. It's just at a really like a neutral pick. We burn a shield with that Earthquake. We tried to farm up a little bit of energy and then swap out into Sableye. Not really sure if that was the best play though. When you shield up it again in case it was a flamethrower. But most people are not running flamethrower on their Skuntank. I still have it on mine. I've always had it on mine because I was using it like when Go Battle League first came out. But yeah, I feel like most people do have the Sludge Bomb on instead, so it isn't actually that dangerous for Fortress. It could be a consideration if you're going to use Skuntank though. But yeah, safe swap into Wormadam, or safe swap to catch the charge move into Wormadam there. In comes back the Skuntank, and gonna have to throw in charge move, or else we're gonna be able to get to a foul play. Otherwise, basically, could have farmed up a little bit more, but the Shadow Claw was kind of adding up as well. But now in comes Fortress. We just throw this Mirror Shot, thinking that it might do enough damage. I'm honestly not familiar enough with Fortress. It takes so long to get to the Earthquake, but you know, speed is chief. What are you gonna do? You have to bring the Fortress. So going to the next battle, we've got Lantern up against Drifblim. So fantastic lead matchup here. We are just going to power away, Spark, Spark, Spark. And switching into the Shiftry, so we swap into the Golbat, which is a pretty decent matchup. It is going to take a fair bit of damage from Shiftry just because it has such a high attack stat, but we are okay here. Yeah, we can't get hit by another foul play basically, so farm up to almost another Power Poison Fang. We waited a little too late to click it, so we have to ship burn a shield here. So we were kind of thinking that we'd shield up this Leaf Blade bait and then throw the Poison Fang, and he wasn't going to shield because I kind of just let Shifty go, got the energy off, successfully got a shield. But SosaFlo does decide to shield there, and because of that we're able to get another Poison Fang off, which is kind of nice. I mean, very nice to put that pressure on, and burning both of SosaFlo's shields there. So I'm thinking that if I shield, I can maybe win this matchup, although I'm not sure how much energy the Shiftry has. I'm kind of hoping here, so hoping that we can, swapping out, never mind. In comes Drifblim, gonna take us out before we can use any of that energy that we got, so yeah, Icy Wind, boom, out goes Golbat, but we're gonna be able to bring in Lantern here to a switch locked Drifblim. And we go for the Thunderbolt straight away, which I don't know if that was the best play. I guess we were a little scared of an Icy Wind debuff coming through. We don't really want to get debuffed. We want Lantern to be as powerful as possible going to the next matchup. And he brings in Scolipede instead of that Shiftry. I'm not really sure if that was the best play, because Shiftry should maybe be able to get to a Leaf Blade before it went down, I think. That would definitely hurt our no-shield Lantern. But I guess he also knew that he was switch-locked and I wasn't, so maybe that was a consideration as well. So we swapped into Haunter there to catch the Mega Horn. Does not do lots of damage against Haunter when you think about the fact that Haunter does not have much going for it HP-wise. But we are at a Shadow Claw down that Shiftry, and that is GG's. So going to the next battle, we've got a whole lot of battles here. Yeah, I forgot that that's going to come up on the video, but hey, I guess there's another progress bar for you. So Lapras vs Celio. It's kind of a neutral matchup. Body Slams are going to be coming through faster than Skull Bashes, but I'm kind of thinking that he's going to want to protect his Celio here, so we're going to go straight for the... We're actually going to charge with the Skull Bash and then throw the Surf. So there's the Surf. Really hoping that this got a shield here, because Skull Bash would do a fair little chunk off the Celio, but that is not a shield, so that is a whole lot of wasted energy on the Lapras, plus we wasted the chance to get a defense buff on our Lapras there, so really not a great play on our end in the end, and we decided to shield up there, just going to make sure we can get to the Skull Bash, do a nice chunk of damage to the Celio if it goes through, boom, 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 and he does shield, so we're kind of sitting here going, oh man, we did not play that well at all. We'll see how this goes though, so I'll let the Body Slam come through. We do have that defense buff, even though it got shielded, and another body slam's coming through. So at this point, we're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to get to another Skull Bash before we go down. So we just let it go down. We've got Venusaur and a Azumarill here. So Venusaur is an interesting pick in this cup. I think it's probably not going to be used that much. I feel like other grass types have a little bit more versatility than Venusaur. Just because Venusaur is a little weak to too much going on. But then there's Azumarill that we have in the back. I don't know if Azumarill is going to be massive because Galvantula is generally going to lose to, although if it has an energy advantage, it can come out on top. And then there's a lot of poison types. Azumarill doesn't like that. So we'll just have to wait and see if Azumarill does make a showing. I didn't put it on the infographic, even though Azumarill's... I feel like this is one of the first metas where Azumarill's in it, but not like super good. Like, I feel like Azumarill might not be on every team, although I think I was thinking the same thing back in like Sorceress Cup, maybe? I don't know, whichever cup it was, but yeah, we don't get the Ice Beam off before the charge move comes through from the Scolipede, which is unfortunate. So X-Scissor is going to just take us out. We were hoping it wouldn't there. Throw the Sludge Bomb on the Venusaur, and this is not going to be doing heaps. So boom, doesn't quite take it out, and a charge move is definitely going to be coming through before we can Vine Whip down. So we clicked on the Frenzy Slant, but unfortunately just not going through. So yeah, we're going to get taken out here. One Mega Horn, and boom, we are out of here. So SosaFlo gets some revenge, taking us out with all 3 Pokemon remaining. So going into the next battle with Galvantula versus Alolan Marowak. Not a great lead matchup at all, so we swap into Alolan Mark, who's a pretty good safe switch in general, and in comes the Venusaur. So we actually go for the Sludge Wave. We try to switch Dark Pulse at the last minute, but we did click on the Sludge Wave first, and it does land. It does a massive chunk of damage to that Venusaur. So we're thinking, alright, well, we're just going to get rid of this Venusaur, and then Alolan Mark for the sweep. Let's go. So yeah, we do have Snarl, which is going to do heaps of damage. So we're like, oh, I guess we can maybe Snarl down, but we're going to have to burn both shields. So now we're in the 0 shield to 2 shield scenario, which isn't a great thing, but we'll see if Mark can pull it off. In comes the Galvantula, so going to go straight for the Dark Pulse. Unfortunately, he did sneak in a Volt Switch there, so he should have maybe gone for one Snarl first. And get that extra energy as well. Get another... Oh, actually, never mind. I thought we were going to get another Dark Pulse off beforehand, but I guess we wanted to make sure that we got out of there. Going to eat a Discharge, which is going to do about the same as a Lunge, interestingly. Go for the Lunge now. We know that this will do a nice chunk off of Galvantula from before, and it'll also debuff its attack. So it gets the shield, and then it swaps out with a fair bit of energy, which we have to be careful of later on. Charge move going to be coming in from the Marowak. Didn't want to let us get a Lunge off, although I don't think he would have anyway. But we're going to bring in the Alolan Muck here. We farmed up a little bit of energy. We could have farmed up more. And then go for the Dark Pulse, which is going to take out the Alolan Marowak. Oh, never mind. It isn't going to take it out. Well, that's unfortunate. And I'm sure I was thinking the same thing at the time. That Bone Club is going to hurt. And we just lost Alolan Marowak. So in comes Fortress. We got one Bug Bite advantage. Kind of going, okay, I don't think we can get to an Earthquake in time. Our only shot is if like Mirror Shot can like, you know, get the debuff and then we can do enough damage with Bug Bites. But yeah, I think this is probably a lost cause here. Go for the Mirror Shot and bada bing, bada boom. And we do get the attack debuff, but unfortunately, I think it's just too little too late at this point. Fortress does not have a lot of health left. Discharge comes through, doesn't finish it off, so it does let us survive one more Volt Switch, but yeah. That is GG's from there. So thanks to SosaFlo for all the battles. And again, check out Team Rocket Academy. This link in the description below. And thank you to my patrons, Melatonin9458, brajSF, 10, or Newman, yours, SqeakyNL, charizardyong, and primativedoc for supporting the channel on Patreon. And also, let me know if this mic was good. I did go out and buy it, as I said in the meta video. So yeah, I feel like it's better quality, but I can't hear this video in real time. So I guess I won't know for sure if it like cuts out at some random point. But also, thank you to Sadie for the Twitch emote, Ready44 Maze for the 5 good subs, and Oscalicious and Primitive Doc for the subs. I still haven't put Primitive Doc on that graphic. I'm a bit of a fool. Yeah, oops. Sorry, Primitive Doc. You'll be there next time. Okay, bye now. See you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.